my name is Peristu Imami, and I'm the host of The Road to Success for Your Highly Sensitive Child. This podcast is about empowering parents of highly sensitive children to nurture their child's unique personality trait and create a path to success. Our podcast provides guidance, insights, and support to help you unlock your child's full potential, fostering resilience, confidence, and a bright future. If you're new to my podcast, please go back and listen to episodes 1 and 2 because they provide information on high sensitivity that all subsequent episodes will build upon. If you skip these episodes, you won't get as much out of this and all subsequent episodes. To book a private coaching session with me, please visit my website at parentinghsc.com. Before I dive into today's episode, here's a friendly nudge. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Join our podcast family. And if you enjoy our podcast, I would love it if you would please give us a 5-star rating. Today's episode is a continuation of my conversation with Angela about raising her highly sensitive boy. In this episode, we will talk about advice that Angela has for other parents and emotional support and personal growth for parents of highly sensitive children. I hope you enjoy it. So, what are some of the strengths and positive traits you see in your son as a result of his sensitivity?
I think, one thing I will say about him is that he's very observant. He notices everything. He's very alert and aware. He's paying a lot of attention to things that are going on. I think I guess one of the things that I see about him is that he is very gentle around animals, loves animals. He has a passion for animals, and he also likes to be in nature, whether that's in the forest or whether that's by the ocean at the beach. And he loves all animals that are in the forest and animals that are on the beach. So I think that part of him is something I really enjoy about him, is his love of nature, loves to be outside. I like that he's in touch with his feelings. I actually really like that he's a sensitive child. He's very, I'm excited to see who he's going to be, because he's not like every other kid. And I really, I'm excited to find out what this unique little person is going to become. I think he's going to do great things, but I don't think he's necessarily going to follow the same path as other kids. He's a good artist, which I think you talked about creativity earlier. He's a great artist. He's funny because he's a bit of a perfectionist. So quite often doesn't like his art. We love it. We put his art up, but if you give him a chance, he'll ball it up and throw it away. We're like, no, we're putting this one up. He's very good, but he's very humble. He still has not found. He doesn't take compliments particularly well, and so we're working on that because he really does have some talents that he needs to be more proud of than he is. But he's articulate. He's very funny, very, very funny. And I think perhaps some of that stems from the fact that he sees a lot, pays attention a lot, sees what's going on. So there's some great things about him that I love. He's a joy to be around.
I love that. So I have one suggestion for you to help him be more comfortable about getting compliments. What I've done for myself, and I'm doing with my clients as well, is basically, I asked them to start a sheet of paper and write down all the things that they love about their child, and then sit down with their child and say, this is the list I came up with, because you need to start things. That's why you don't start with have the child do it, because they might be like, what do you want me to do? You just need to kind of start the process, and then sit with them and say, okay, what are some items that you would like me to add? Like, you're amazing at asking open-ended questions, because you allow your child to express himself without you having any influence on his answer. That's what open-ended questions do. You don't influence the answer when you ask open-ended questions, which I love. And as you know, I grew up with parents who didn't allow me to ask questions. So I'm not the best person to ask questions. I had to work on myself to learn how to ask questions and what questions to ask. So I learned that open-ended questions are really good for highly sensitive people and highly sensitive children. So this is a really good way of getting them used to hearing what are their strengths, and then at some point where you think they're comfortable, you could also write down what are your weaknesses, because it's always good to know your strengths and your weaknesses. And then what you could do is, okay, is there anything that you could do about your weakness to make it into a strength? Some things we can change and we can make it into a strength by working on it. Some things we're born with, and it's a genetic thing, just like this personality trait. Just like if you're born with blue eyes, for example, I'm looking at your beautiful blue eyes. You had the genes for blue eyes, and your son has the genes for high sensitivity. So you can't change those things that are inherent in him. But if you see them as a weakness, which, I don't see many things as a weakness in a highly sensitive person. But if you do see that, is there something that you could do to lessen that? For example, are getting the overwhelmment that we feel, overstimulation and overwhelmment. We can help that. It's always going to be there. I'm not saying it's going to go away, but you can do somatic. You can use somatic techniques to, on a daily basis, regulate your nervous system. So that sensation would be less. It's not going to go away. It's just going to be less and more manageable. So I really love this. I start always with strength until your child has the confidence level. I never give the weakness until your child, first of all, is at a particular age, and also where he has a really good confidence level, he or she. And then I introduce the weakness. And you want to start small with the weaknesses. You don't want to, if your child has a lot of weaknesses, you don't want to write them all down. You just want to write down one or two and address those. And then you can add to it if there are more. But don't start with a big list like you do with the strengths. The strengths, you want to start with as many as you can think of, because that's what we're going to use to bring up their confidence level.
We did that one time, and I did start by asking him to tell me some things that his strengths, some of his strengths. He couldn't come up with any, and so I had to. I realized, I went about this all wrong, and I'm like, let me write them down, because I got a lot, and so I wrote down all of the strengths I could think of, and then I had him read it, and I sort of asked, what do you think? He didn't say anything. It was an interesting experiment, because he read it all. And I think he looked pleased, but he didn't say anything. He didn't say, "Oh yeah, you're right. I am good at that."
Yeah.
I think it's easy for him to focus on his weaknesses. Personally, for Daniel, I think he's hyper aware of his weaknesses.
Yes, we all are. That's a part of highly sensitive.
Yeah. Okay. So I think he probably probably overemphasizes his weaknesses and does not focus much on his successes. So that's something that we do a lot. Is we always comment on successes.
Yes.
No matter what, we don't go overboard because he doesn't like overboard. He if you get too gushy and too excited, that will be overstimulating.
Yes,
it's too much.
Yeah.
So, but just a hey, that was great, or well, I love how you did that, or you know.
And it also helps to kind of tell some of the adults outside of the parents to give a handful of his strengths to those adults that you interact with and say, hey, if the situation comes up, don't be fake about it, but if the situation comes up, can you please compliment him using these strengths? And the reason you want to do that is because he needs to hear it from more than just his parents.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. The reason is that a lot of times you think, oh, they're my parents. They love me. Of course, they're going to think these are my strengths.
He's actually said that.
Yeah.
He's very smart.
Yeah, he is.
You just say that because you love me. Well, yeah.
No, highly sensitive children tend to be really smart. I mean, they say things, they use words that are way out of their age range.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's always been able to do that.
Yeah.
But we don't often necessarily get feedback from him, but I just look at his face and I can tell he's proud. He again, because he doesn't take compliments particularly well, he often won't say anything, but he knows. And so you say them because he is taking them on board.
Oh yeah.
He's just not letting you know.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And the thing is, the more they hear it, the more it penetrates, and maybe in his mind, he's kind of not letting it sink in, but his body takes it all in. So that's the other thing, is that remember that the mind and body are connected. And the body is very smart as well. So it's not just your brain, your body is extremely smart. So yeah, that's important for him to continue to hear it from you guys, but also from outside sources too. And then, so last question is, and of course you can share anything else outside of these questions with us as we wrap up, but can you share a moment or experience that highlighted the beauty of his sensitivity?
I think the time that I most often see Daniel in his true, authentic self is when we are out in nature. He's at one with nature.
Yeah.
As I say, in the woods, at a lake, by the beach, if it's quiet, he is just happy, and he's not thinking about anything apart from the joy of nature, of the smells, the animals, the leaves. He loves it.
Yeah.
And so we work hard at getting him outside and into nature. We get him in the ocean, we get him in the woods, and
that's awesome.
And he just you can visibly see him relax. And so I think that's probably the time where I see him most peaceful.
I love that, because it shows another way how smart highly sensitive children are, because they intuitively know that being in nature is soothing to the body. And he, from what I'm hearing from you, he's able to be in the present moment when he's in nature, which is really amazing, right? Because as a child, you already know it's really cool to be in the here and now. Don't think about what happened yesterday. Don't think about what's going to happen 2 hours from now. Just enjoy what you're going through right now in this moment. And that's just beautiful. For a child at his age, to know that is just another demonstration of how highly sensitive children are so in tune with what their body needs, and what they need. Yeah. That's awesome. That's so beautiful. Anything else that you want to share with us before we close out?
I just, I would just say to people, just enjoy your child and enjoy them for who they are, not for who you would like them to be. And I think if you can get past that, then raising a highly sensitive child is going to be awesome.
Yeah. It really is a beautiful journey. When I work with my clients and they talk to me about their children, and sometimes I get to see the child as well. It's just so beautiful to see. Like if I think back about the day that they discovered that their child is highly sensitive and what they were going through at that point in their lives and what their journey has taken them to, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to see that they're now thriving where they were struggling before, where there was a lot of tension in their home before. Now there's no tension in their home. Not to say that like daily life tension, of course, but I'm talking about tension related to their child's high sensitivity is disappeared altogether in these people's homes. And when I hear those, that just fills my heart. And I'm just so happy beyond any words. Words can't describe the level of happiness that I feel when I see these results. So thank you so much, Angela, for sharing your story with us, for sharing your insights, for going into so much detail, because that's really helpful to our listeners. And once again, thank you for encouraging me to follow this path in my life and to see the gift that I have to offer to other people. Absolutely. And the fact that I can impact other people's lives in a positive way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been great to be here. I'm excited that you're doing this.
Thank you.
And hopefully this will be a help to people who are unsure of how to move forward with their kid.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want to remind you that you have the power to create a bright and successful future for your highly sensitive child. Embrace their uniqueness, nurture their strengths, and provide them with the love and support they need. Together, we can pave a path to success that aligns with their sensitivity. Thank you for joining us today. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We'll be here with more insights and inspiration in our next episode. Until then, keep believing in your child's potential because they truly are extraordinary. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and stay committed to setting your child up for success in life. To book a private coaching session with me, please visit my website at parentinghsc.com.